Hi heathens! So today's video is something that I've wanted to try doing for a while, but I've also been trying to compile like a full face. So I think I'm there. I think I'm only missing one product. And if I do have one floating around here, I have no idea where it is, so I apologize in advance, and that's a concealer, which I don't really use a lot, which is probably why I don't know where one would be floating around. But anyway, from the title, you can tell what I'm doing today, which is using, I'm going to see if I can pick some up in my hand, all mini or like sample size products for my makeup. And we're going to see what products are nice. Some of these I've tried before, some of them I have not, and some of them I like faintly have, and you'll see what I mean. So I'm going to start off with priming, and I'm going to go in with Benefit Porefessional Pearl Primer. It says it is oil-free, lightweight, silky, soft pink. I love these little primer samples actually, because I'm not a big fan of primer, so I don't use a whole lot. So I feel like these last me a decent amount of time. So I'm going to put 2 teeny little drops on my fingers, one for each side of my face. I'm trying to not put like tops of things directly on my face anymore. So we're going to put a little bit on each cheek, and then we are just going to push that into the skin. Particularly, I should have done like a before and after to see if it really makes a difference. I think it's made my cheek a little red. I don't know if you can tell because of that light, but from me touching my face and like pushing the product across my skin, which is always great. Because my skin, while not being like really sensitive, is just very moody. So every time I touch it, it's like, I'd rather you not. Okay. So I'm going to start off, I guess, with eyes, so I can give the foundation, so I can give the primer a second to set before I go in with foundation, because my foundation is actually powder. So, okay, this is kind of cheating, I know. I'm using one from AOA Studio, which is a Velour Eyeshadow. It is not a mini, it is not a sample size, like this is the actual size, but since it is a small single and not out of a palette, I figured it would pass. And then my other one, which is kind of both a sample and a mini, is from the Balm Cosmetics What's the Tea palette. It is from the Iced Tea eyeshadow mini cool shade. It's called The Rundown. So we're going to use that in the crease and then just pop a little bit of this in the shade Prayer over the lid. Words are hard. It is late. Don't know what I'm saying. So I'm just going to go in. I want something a little bigger than that, I think. Yeah. Let me make sure everything is off this brush, because I really don't want to get red in this look. Okay. So this is just a Wet n Wild brush. I don't have many brushes to use. So I'm just going to tap in. This shade is really, really pigmented, so it does have a bit of kickback. I'm just tapping in a few times, tapping off a few times, and then we're just going to go ahead and lay that down into the crease and a bit across the lid. This is going to be a super simple eyeshadow look, but I think these colors are going to go together really nicely. So I did not wear eyeshadow today, which is kind of strange for me, but I felt like if you can see the color of my dress, I didn't really have anything that would go well with it other than doing a light purple look. And I don't know. I wasn't feeling it. So I just went eyeshadow free. I did wear a bit of foundation, which I have obviously taken off, and a bit of mascara. For some reason, like, it looked good. And, like, in person, I felt, like, nice and glowy, which normally I actually don't like, but it's been kind of growing on me lately. But for the life of me, I could not get a good picture. I'm gonna add a little more to this side just to deepen it up, because that side somehow got a little darker. I just could not get a good picture of today's look. And I feel like it has something to do with the color of this dress against my skin tone. It was just making me look strange. But oddly enough, I've gotten a lot of compliments on this dress today. So it's like, I feel like looking in the mirror, I look fine. I clearly can't look that bad unless everyone only wants to compliment me when I look bad to make me feel better. So why do I have such a hard time getting a picture? So if you haven't used, moving on to makeup again, if you haven't used these Velour eyeshadows, they're a very interesting, like, moussey-ish texture. Like, you can clearly just see where I put my finger in it. They're kind of similar to a ColourPop Super Shock, but in my opinion, a bit creamier. Like, these are more like an actual cream, whereas the Super Shock is kind of like a cream to powder type thing. So I'm just putting this over my lid to give a little bit of shine. And then I'll do the same thing on the other side. I think I got more on this finger this time. So we're just gonna tap that on. What shows are y'all watching? I'm still working during all of this, but in my spare time, I've just been rewatching The Office while I try to clean and stuff. But, like, when I'm actually sitting down, I've just been watching, like, a lot of YouTube, and I feel like I need a show to watch. So give me some good shows down below. I don't really have an interest right now in watching Tiger King, so nothing against it. I've heard things that kind of turn me off to it, so something other than that would be appreciated. Alright, I'm going to move in next to brows. This is a product I've never tried. I don't even know how to try, and you'll understand what I'm saying in a second. So this is the Benefit Gimme Brow Plus Brow Volumizing Fiber Gel. It is in the shade 3, and it's got a little thing in here, and it says to use, slide sample out, twist to break seal, then pull apart to reveal brush. Stroke brush tip along brow to define shape, brush through to blend and build. I don't know what shade 3 is, so I don't even know if this is close to being my shade. So it says to twist and pull on the back, and I cannot recall ever having used a Benefit brow product before, actually. So, oh, it's like actual brow gel. For some reason I was thinking, I guess that makes more sense. Never mind. Don't worry about what I was thinking. Rude. I lost my light and had to do some technical difficulty fixing. And now I seem to have misplaced the brow product. Here we go, because I can't see. Anyway, I don't know why my brain thought that for some reason it was like an angled brush with powder on it. But it is like an actual little wand with brow gel on it, which makes more sense because it's volumizing brow gel. Anyway, so we're just going to take this into my little, can I, apparently I can't do it if I'm holding my head up. My little nothingness brows. And as I said, I have no idea what shade 3 is supposed to be. I assume if they start from lightest to darkest, then blonde would be like 0 or 1. But I don't know how far it goes up. So that's with and without. It smells like alcohol, just like the Anastasia one, which is always fun. I'm sure there's like a lot of alcohol in it in order to get the brows to stay in place. It's just very weird to be smelling alcohol while putting on makeup and not because you're drinking it, if that makes sense. I mean, I don't drink a bunch of alcohol, but if I'm smelling it, I feel like it should be because I'm drinking it, not because I'm putting it on my face. That's okay, yeah. I mean, it's a nice brow gel. It is, and I mean this in a good way, it is a little more pigmented than some of the ones I've used, but it's not making anything clumpy. Yeah, this is nice. Depending on how much the full size is, it might be worth an investment. I'm gonna see if I can keep this around and use it a little bit more. I don't know how well that's gonna work, but it's gonna stay up there just in case. So now we can go ahead and move on to foundation. My brows feel really weird. All right, this is the MAC Studio Fix Powder Plus Foundation in the shade NC20. I received this in, I believe, an Ipsy, and I was really surprised because we don't usually get foundation products, but when I swatched it on my hand, as you can tell from the little powder, it looked like it matched me pretty okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, again, on the little powder, on the little puff. Have I been saying powder the whole time? And I'm going to take it across the areas on my cheeks where I need the most coverage. And then I'm actually going to go in with a second foundation mini sample type product to do the rest of my face. I'm going to try to blend this out the best I can with this little puff, not this little powder. I don't know why I kept saying powder. Listen, it's been a long week, okay? I can't believe that April is like over. Well, where did it go? I feel like with everything going on in the world, April was just like, boop, gone. Nobody gave it a second thought. Which is sad because, you know, April is a nice month. Usually. Not right now. Alright, so that's not a whole lot of coverage on me. Maybe it's because I can't really get in there. I can definitely see where those two little areas were on that side. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with the Pure 4-in-1 Pressed Mineral Makeup Broad Spectrum SPF 15 in the shade Porcelain. And I'm going to take what I always use for this, which is just my regular foundation brush. And I just kind of swirl it around. This brush really probably needs to be washed. I washed it the other day, but the last foundation that I used on it, well, I used two. One was a little too dark, one was a little too light. And I didn't even think about it tainting this. But I've used this before, so like I know how this works. This is like not a new product for me, not a first impression. So I'm just kind of packing it in. I'm gonna put some on my nose. I like this powder foundation pretty well. I kind of want to go back, not go back to the store, like I got this from the store, I didn't. But I kind of want to go to the store and like mentally go back, was what I was thinking, and buy the, if they even still make it, this CoverGirl powder foundation compact that I used to use back when I was in school. I feel like that would be like a real big trip down memory lane. How many times am I going to say like? But I feel that would be really fun. Might make a cool video. I might, if I can find it, I don't know if they still make it, but I might do that for my kind of high school but glam video that I was planning on doing, where one side of my face I'm going to do more the way that I was doing it in high school, And then the other side, I'm going to kind of take the same concept, but like glam it up a little bit, like glow up style, I guess. All right, so that is the foundations done. We're going to move on into bronzer, which is the Tarte Park Avenue Princess. Take my little bronzer brush. Just do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. And we're going to sculpt the face a bit. I do like this powder, but I feel like sometimes it's kind of weird. Tell me if I'm the only one. I feel like sometimes it's got more of a sheen. Like sometimes it's super matte, and then sometimes it's got like a shimmer to it, and it's really weird because in the pan, at least to me, it doesn't look like it's really gonna have a sheen. And then when I put it on my face, it does. I have the hardest time getting my bronzer to match on both sides. Okay. That's gonna be good enough for now. My lips are so chapped. Ugh, it's driving me nuts. Alright. Now we're going into blush. I'm gonna clean this brush a little bit because the last blush that I used with this brush was like really pigmented. And I'm just using the little Shop Miss A little scrubber brush cleaner thing. Alright. Now for blush, we have another Tarte product in the shade Party. It's an Amazonian Clay 12-hour blush. I actually really, really like this shade. I think this was the first blush that I got that I was like, oh, that's pretty nice. Make sure there's nothing coming off my brush. Tap into this. Because it's a very, in my opinion, nice neutral color. Oh, it gives you a nice, just flush to the skin, but without being overwhelming, without looking too pink, too red, too orange. Just nice neutral color. All right, now for highlighter, we are going to go in with a Becca Mini, and this is in the shade Moonstone. Covering up the mirror because even these minis have mirrors in them. This is what it looks like. I'm just going to use the mirror in here. We're just going to pop that across the cheek. This is a really nice color. We're going to take a little bit down my nose. Is that even picking up? A little bit more. I don't know. It's like... Oh well, it's really pretty. Just take my word for it if you can't see it. Now I'm going to go ahead and put something on my lips because they feel awful. I really want to go in with a little bit of chapstick, but looking in front of me, I don't have like a mini. So I'm going to go straight in with my lip color, which is the Too Faced Melted Liquefied Longwear Lipstick in the shade Chihuahua. I've never used it. It's a little squeeze puff thing. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear this over the cats, but it's making a really weird noise while it squeezes out. It smells like... Oh, what does that smell like? I'm going to shake it because it seems like it's just oil coming out, even though the color's there. There we go. There's a very specific candy that this smells like. I can't place what it is. Oh, that's gonna bother me so much. I'm gonna have to have Michael smell it when I'm done and see if he can place what it is. It's very soft. Oh, I like that. All right, now, last but not least, I think we're gonna go into a mascara. I have a bunch up here to choose from. So let's see if I can find one that I know that I either haven't used or really like. Yeah, here's a tried and true. This is the Benefit They're Real Mini. And I feel like I see this as sample a lot. So I feel like this is one that if you're watching this video, you're more likely to have or receive or be able to find. So no mascara. I have to be careful with all mascaras because I am literally the worst at getting mascara all over my lid because my eyelashes are very sparse. I don't have very thick eyelashes. So when I'm trying to get close to the root on the top, the bristles on the wand just go, poke myself in the eye, just kind of slip right between my lashes and leave marks on my eyelid right next to the base of my lashes. It's really hard to talk and put on mascara, so if that sentence was kind of incoherent, I'm sorry. And then second eye, and I don't believe that I have any mini setting sprays, so we're just gonna leave it at that. And another thing that I could not find another version of, I know I've got somewhere, but I didn't think I needed because both of my foundations were technically powders, was like a setting powder. I know I've got like a mini Laura Mercier one somewhere. No idea where it is. So anyway, that is a full face of minis or sample sizes. Let me know your thoughts down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Subscribe to see more of my content, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!